Hey guys, how you doing? So here today is just a short little video to show you what I've done with the electrolytic capacitors on this radio. I'm going to continue to dig in now and do all the capacitors onto the chassis, and then we're going to put the tuning condenser back on the chassis and we're going to test it. Alright, just wanted you to see how I ended up doing the electrolytics. See you guys soon. I know it's been a bit. I'm still a little bit busy, but I'll be back. Take care. Hey everybody, we are back at it. So I want to show you where we currently are. Here's the capacitor that we stuffed in the last episode. If you remember, this was a coin tube. I'll put a picture of it somewhere up there. So we printed a label, we put it in the coin tube, we dipped it in wax, and this is what it looks like. Pretty good. We've got our wire leads on it, ready to go. So the next thing we're working on is the other electrolytic, and this is an unusual one that I wanted to show you. Let me move this back a little bit. So I've never seen one of these before. It's a Bakelite capacitor. So this entire case is Bakelite. It's got threads on the bottom, and what was in here was just a bunch of wax. So there was a capacitor in there. It was full of wax. Really, really simple to get out, by the way. This is what was in there. So there's the cap. Just a bunch of wax. And just needed to do a little bit of melting, a little bit of drilling from the bottom, and I was able to shine it up. I didn't want to make sure I get rid of this paint. That's original. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create some kind of I don't know what we'd call it. I guess like a washer that goes in there that holds the cap, and I will fill it up with wax or hot glue depending on how low I go with it, and then we'll just put another top on it. The top that was there was this, just a piece of cardboard. So we're going to restuff that, and then we'll have our electrolytics complete. Once we get that done and we reinstall them, then we'll do all the other caps underneath. And the reason why I'm not going to test it before doing all the caps underneath is once I put that motorized tuning cap on there, it's going to be really hard to work on this thing upside down, and I don't want to take any chances. So I'm also going to do that. I also want to paint this transformer, so I need to have all this real estate clear here. I'll show you. Now that I've got the two caps out, I've got plenty of room to mask this off and paint this transformer. By the way, this 16 microfarad cap is isolated from the chassis, and you'll see that on the schematic if you take a look at it. There's a washer here which isolates it right there, which we'll replace, and then that's how that works. So what we're going to do now is restuff this thing. Really cool. I shined it up too. A little Bakelite. Good stuff. So we're going to restuff it, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, here's how we're going to mount the cap in this Bakelite can here. I took a PVC fitting and I ground off the points on this collar. And I've got it inside there. I got a little bit of epoxy holding it in. And here's our cap, replacing it with a 15 microfarad 450 volt cap. I don't have any 16s. I don't think it's a common value these days. And we're going to fish this down in here. Hopefully get it to come out the other end. Let me do this off camera and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we have our cap mounted inside there. I think you can see it. Put some light on there. So our cap is firmly embedded in there, nice and solid. We've got our wires coming at the back. We're going to plug this up with some hot glue. I'm going to fill this up with some hot glue also, so it stays nice and solid, and then I'll put a black cap on top just to seal it, and then we've got our 16 microfarad 450 working volt DC capacitor all finished and ready to put back in. Well, here's the finished product. We've got a nice rubber cap on top. The Bakelite's all shiny. Wires out the bottom. Looking good. Here's our other one right here. And what I didn't show you earlier is on top is a shiny nickel. After all, we are using a coin tube. There it is. I was hoping to find a 1939 nickel, but I couldn't find one. That's where we are. Just a short little video.